Welcome back to Bradley's Garage. Today we're working on a 2016 VW Jetta. This is actually our neighbor's car. He knows we work on cars all the time, so his check engine light came on his Jetta, and he's like, hey, can you guys check it out for me? So we found that he's got that infamous radiator shutter, the active shutter, the little grill down here is messed up. So we're gonna see if we can help him out. So let's show you the air code first, and then we'll get into how we get this apart. Okay, so we just hooked up our laptop. We have our VACCOM VCDS, and we're getting the P05A0. That's the active shutter is stuck open code. So I'll put a screenshot up for you so you can see the error message. But we're gonna go ahead and just leave the code for now, and we're gonna go and take a look at the front grill, show you guys what it looks like. As you can see, the active grill is right here. So this car is cold. It hasn't been driven today. So when you first start up the car, it should be in the closed position for emissions. So the engine heats up faster. And when you're driving down the freeway, it closes to give you a better, more aerodynamic, less drag. So it's all about efficiency and emissions. So obviously it's stuck open. So we're gonna have to get this bumper off and get access to the active shutter assembly. So the only thing you're gonna need for this is your T25. I hooked it up to the little Milwaukee here. You're gonna remove these 4 grill screws. Okay, and then we have the car in the air on jack stands. So we are gonna need to get under there and take a couple off the bottom. Okay, so we have basically, let's see, 6. So we have 1 here in the corner you need to remove, and then you have the 4 in the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then obviously your 6th one there. So we'll start over here. And all these are the same size Torx, so you don't have to worry about where they came from. Actually, there's 2 there, guys. So there's actually a total of 8. They hit another one right next to that one. So there's a total of 8. Now we're on the side. We have it up in the air, obviously to access underneath, but also to be able to just turn the wheel. So you're gonna have 1 here, 2 here, a 3rd one here, and then there's 1 straight up under here. So you just need to get a little extension and go under there. So we'll pull these first 3 off. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and turn the wheel the opposite direction and do the other side. Okay, we're on the other side now. If you have the stock wheels, you might be able to get away with doing it without having to turn the wheels, but you have to have the car off the ground anyway to get underneath the front, so. Okay, so before we pull it off completely, I like to just go on each side and just kind of pull it out of the channel there. So now each side is loose. Okay, now we're loose there. And now this is where you want to get a buddy to help you out, because you want to have somebody on each side so everything comes off cleanly and you don't drop it, scrape it, or do any kind of damage to it. Okay, so now we're ready to take off the bumper. We kind of lifted this up to get it on the top. As you can see, it's here. So you have your sides off, right? And then you just grab like right inside here and right inside the grill, and then you have to give it a little tug. And remember, if you have fog lights, you're gonna have to hold it and unplug those. For the fog light, all you have to do is just push the little tab and it unplugs. So it looks like here's where the little tabs come out. A couple of them broke, obviously. And that's just, I don't know, there's nothing you can do about it. I don't know why VW doesn't put a little hole in the grill so you can take that off, so this whole bracket comes off at the same time. So yeah, German engineering. So we got our bumper cover off. This is just held on by 2 T30 screws, but first thing we need to do is disconnect the power line going to it, the electrical cable. So just come over here and press down on the tab. Of course, it's a little stuck because it's never been taken off before. So we'll unplug that, and then we need to get that harness out, the little plug. So just get your pry tool, pop that out of the body. Grab your T30. Take out one bolt. Second bolt. Okay, and then this whole assembly here, this little grill, this little active grill, it just slides straight down. Okay, slides straight down, and oh, there's actually both connectors are to this piece, so we need to go ahead and unplug the other one as well. Pop it off the body first, and then just press down, unplug it. We got the grill out. If you want to come in here, take a quick look, you can see that our part number ends in a D. Okay, and remember I was telling you guys that there was a TSB from Volkswagen about this. So they basically said if you have a D or earlier, you need to replace the motor itself. It needs to be H. So this was obviously from 2016. So here we are today. It's actually AA. AA is the latest iteration, the latest version of the motor. So we're gonna be putting in AA today. All right, so step one, you're just gonna stand it upright. You're gonna go ahead and get this wire harness unhooked off the clip, and then you're gonna follow it along the plastic channel here and just keep removing it. Okay, then you can go ahead and stick your finger in and unplug it, and you can get this out of your way. Okay, that's step number one. Then you can lay it down, and you can move this by hand. Get your T20 Torx, and there's gonna be 2 screws. So when it's closed, you can't access this one, you can see this one. But if you open it, you get them both open, then you can see both Torx screws. Okay, come over here. Okay, and I just grab a little magnet to grab them. Okay, get those out of the way. Okay, so now we have the assembly will come out of the actual frame of the grill. So all you gotta do is pull up on it in the middle, all right? So you're gonna grab a hold of it in the middle, and these end pieces are just stuck in there. So as soon as you get some slack in the middle, then the end pieces will come out, all right? So lift up in the middle, you got the end pieces, and then once you get one side, you can just simply slide it to the opposite side and set that out of your way, okay? So now I'm gonna go ahead and sit down. Makes it a little bit easier. We have one additional screw right here, another T20 that's actually holding the motor into the assembly. So you want to remove that. They're all 3 of them are the same, so don't worry about getting them mixed up. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it back over. And what I do is you can just get a long plain tip screwdriver, and basically this top plate here is a cover that kind of snaps down to hold these blades in place. So I just go like this. By applying pressure here, you can go ahead and just kind of pry up on each side of the motor here, and it pops off the shell off of your little shutters here, if you will. All of them are loose. They're just flopping around. They're all stuck inside there, okay? The only one that we care about is this one right here. This one right here is what is driving our motor, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and just pull that one out. It just has 2 little tabs and just pulls right out. Okay, so now our motor is technically disconnected from the flap assembly. You're gonna rotate it up. Okay, so just pick up on it. All right, there's a little tab. I'm gonna show you on this side, guys. So there's a little tab right there. You need to just pull it off of that. So after you rotate it up, then you can just come up like this, slide it over to the right, and now your motor is disconnected. Okay, get our new motor. Brand new OEM VW. Take it out of the package, and we take a look at things, and everything looks identical. The only difference is we have D as the original 2016, and now we have the latest version, which is a AA. Okay, so installation is the reverse. We know that this lines up with this hole here, and we know we need to get this upright. We need to get it hooked on to that little tab that's sticking out. And then it fits in between the chassis. Okay, fits in between the chassis here and pushes down into place. So let's make sure, yep, we're hooked on. Nice. It's a little tricky. Okay, all right, so now we got it plugged in. Now we're good. So we got the motor in, it's all secure. What I want to do is just do a little silicone spray on this plastic, just so things slide over nice and easy. We don't want to break anything. Okay, so the most important part is lining up all 6 tabs. So you see here, we want to be inside that channel. So double check that your blades are lined up. So we're there, we're good. We got the second one lined up. This one is looking pretty good, and that one's looking pretty good. So we go ahead and start pressing down, and it's just gonna snap into place. Okay, got that side. Let's turn it around for you. So we got one side on, this one started, we just really have the front two. Okay, all right, now everything's in place and the grills are completely closed. That's where we want them. We want them in the closed position when we start this. After you get everything wiped off, then you're gonna go ahead and put this screw, basically that's the retaining screw that holds the motor in place. Not that it can really go anywhere, but okay, now that's in place. Now we go ahead and we have our assembly here. We're gonna make sure the top is facing this direction. We have the top here. And we have all of the flaps down. You just start with the top and then work your way to the bottom, okay? So go ahead and get one side in. You might need to put your hand underneath to help guide them into the holes. Okay. It's like you got to get all 4 of them at the same time. It's kind of fun, but get them lined up and then there we go. Okay. Once you got one side in, then we're basically holding it in the middle. Like I said, you start at the top, give a little twist in the middle, get your first one down, your second one, third one, and finally your fourth one. So if you see right here, I'm just giving it a little lift and twist in the middle, and then you get everything lined up. Okay, and then this is gonna go right back into its container there, little shell, and I flip it over just to make sure that we're clear, that none of the blades are hitting the actual shell itself, okay? Once we're already down, then we know that we can put the back screw in because the shutters are closed. Okay, so just do it real gentle like, and then get your last screw in the top there. All right, we got it. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and close everything. Basically, you can just push right here. All right, so it's all the way flat and down. Okay, now we can go ahead and get our wire harness plugged back in. So you feed this through the hole. It's a tight fit. Plug it in, make sure it's there. And then the only thing you gotta do is just go ahead and put it back into the little channel, tuck it under the little tabs, little things to keep it organized. Just come along here, like that, and then this was like this, had a little loop in it, and it went under. Okay, now we're ready to reinstall. Actually, the wire, I was calling it the top, but the wire where the wire harness plugs in on the motor, that's actually the bottom. So I forgot which side was up. So all you gotta do is place the frame against the car, all right? Make sure your wires are out of the way, and then just come up from the bottom, and then you'll see that it fits into a little groove and then slides up. Okay, you see the little angle there? It slides up and then it fits inside there. Then you can get your screw started. One side and the other. Okay, just double check, make sure everything's looks good. All right, we can come over here with our wire harness. Go ahead and plug those back in. Just pull on them, make sure they're stuck. Put them back in the groove. You hear the click. Plug them back in, and this is for our fog light. All right, so now we're ready for the bumper cover. Before we're gonna place the bumper cover, just remember, if you have fog lights, go ahead and plug those back in. Okay, if you got your buddy on the other side, he can plug that one in. And then what we wanna do is make sure and line up this strip right here goes back in there. Like I said, a couple of the clips broke, but I mean, what are you gonna do? The only way to get this off is to basically yank it. So it's kind of a poor design, but basically line up this groove inside that channel there. So you can go ahead and lift it up, get your grill up above, and then you can kind of peek in here in the corner here and make sure that slot is going in the channel. That's the most important part. You might need a little flashlight to look inside. Okay, and then under here, just make sure this goes underneath the front strip there. Okay, and then all you gotta do, just give it a little pressure and just push it in the center. Make sure it's all the way in. You'll notice that when this lines up with the headlight, then you know that you got it good. Come around to each side, lift it up, and then basically you're gonna push towards the back and snap it back into place. This side, same thing. And that one had a little tighter clip. All right, just go ahead and make sure your grill's there. And then just get your screws started. Then we have the same thing. We have the wheel turned for this side, so you can go ahead and get your screw started here. You have the one down low. And the other one, you'll need your extension for that. Okay, so just don't forget about that top one. Gives you kind of the idea where it's at. Okay, snug those down. Okay, we'll go to the other side. Just remember, just turn the wheel the opposite way and we'll have access. So we got on this side, get them started. On this one, I just used the extension to get it up there. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're gonna go underneath and put the 8 holding the under tray back on. One in front of the wheel, then you have the 2 right next to each other. Then you make your way down. And you have your last 4. I like to just push on the grill just a little bit. Make sure it's nice and tight. Got it all back together. All right, so we cleared the fault codes in VCDS. You're gonna go under basic settings. That loads up. You're gonna go to your drop-down menu, and we're gonna scroll down a little bit, and it says adaptation of radiator shutter IDE 10304. Whoops, I clicked on the wrong one. Damn touchscreen. All right, down arrow once. Just hit OK and then hit go. It'll say running and then finish correctly. We just did it once before, so it says running for a second and then finish correctly. And then you can just hit stop. And then if you happen to have your buddy outside, you'll see that it says, or that the flap will open and close. And then that basically retrained the ECU to understand that we got a new motor with a new part number. All right, guys, hopefully that helps you out with your VW. This is a 2016 Jetta, but I think that active radiator flap setup is very similar. This motor is used on a lot of VW, Porsche, Audi products. So I think the mechanism, the actual active flap mechanism, is pretty much the same style. So this video should help you out with a multitude of cars. Maybe taking the front bumper cover off is a little bit different, but I'll post that the TSB, the Technical Service Bulletin, in the description below. I'll have a link to that so you can just read through it and check it out. But be sure to check out our channel. We did a few other repairs on this 2016 VW Jetta with the 1.8 TSI motor. So thanks again for hanging out. We'll catch you guys on the next one.